Hi, I'm Sheri Ross, and this is SLV Life, everything San Lorenzo Valley in Santa Cruz County, California. Today, we are featuring Community Bridges based in Aptos and Mountain Community Resources in Felton. My guests are Maureen Wolff, Senior Development Analyst with Community Bridges, and Roxanne Moore, Program Manager at Mountain Community Resources. Thank you so much for being here and welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
So tell us, give us an overview of your programs.
So Mountain Community Resources, right here in the San Lorenzo Valley, is actually part of a larger family of programs that is called Community Bridges. So Community Bridges is a human services nonprofit that spans the entire Santa Cruz County. We have 10 programs and 20 sites, and every year we serve over 22,000 people. So this past year, 2017, was our 40th year, so we're going into our 41st year serving Santa Cruz County. And our administration headquarters are in Aptos, but again, like I said, our programs go from right here in the San Lorenzo Valley all the way down to Watsonville, and even with some services in the San Benito and Monterey counties. And our programs all work together to create a sustainable model where we're serving the entire human lifespan, all the way from nursing mothers who are working with infants, and even before that when they are pregnant, all the way to seniors who are experiencing complex medical conditions and are looking for end-of-life care and other needs with the aging population in Santa Cruz County. And so the whole point of our services is to just really be present with community needs and to address those as they come up. Whether that be collaborating with other organizations surrounding the housing crisis, working to provide resources for immigrant communities, or again, like I said, working with our growing senior population in the county. We're here to empower people and to ensure that they have the resources they need to succeed. So our programs are actually broken down into 3 different sectors. We have our senior and transportation programs, Liftline, Meals on Wheels for Santa Cruz County, and Elder Day, Adult Day Healthcare. And then we have our children's programs, the Child Development Division, Child and Adult Care Food Program, and then Women, Infants, and Children. And then finally, our Family Resource Collective, which is 4 different centers, which I will let Roxanne talk a little bit more about.
Wow, a lot of activities.
Yeah, so as Maureen was saying, we serve people in lots of different capacities, but also in lots of different ways. So one of the ways that we reach people is by having these family resource centers. And family resource centers are places that are open to the community, that you can walk in and ask questions and get help. And Community Bridges has 4 of them in the county, like Maureen was saying. So here in San Lorenzo Valley, we have Mountain Community Resources in Felton. And then Santa Cruz, there's a center called Nueva Vista. And then in Live Oak, we have Live Oak Community Resources. And in Watsonville, we have La Manzana. And family resource centers are kind of unique from other types of social service agencies in that they kind of serve people in 2 different ways. There's services that go on in-house that people come and receive, but they can also be like a hub for people just to find out about everything that's available to them in the county, whether it's from government programs or other nonprofit agencies like Community Bridges.
And when was Mountain Community Resources founded?
So Mountain Community Resources was founded in 1982, and it was really a response to the tragedy after the horrible flooding that year. 22 people died, and many more were left homeless, or people lost their businesses. A lot of community members were really devastated, and they had to come together to help each other out. And so even though it was a horrible tragedy, it really kind of fortified a lot of community members in finding ways to help each other and come together. And from there, it's really just grown into this organization that not only responds to emergencies, but it's also there just to strengthen and make the community more resilient every day.
And what services do you generally provide?
Yeah, so like I was saying, we started off really offering emergency services for the community, like a network of volunteers to respond with the CERT program, which you've highlighted on this show before. But then the other types of services that I'd like to tell you about, we do food distribution every week on Thursdays at 11. And the food distribution's pretty important. We reach about 400 people every week, and we give away almost 3,500 pounds of food.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of people rely on this every week. And we started doing that in 2013 because in Santa Cruz County, there's a lot of wealth and there's a lot of abundance. This is a really great place to live, but the reality is about 15% of our population is struggling to survive at the poverty level, which means for a family of 3, you're surviving off less than $25,000 a year. And we all know that might only cover rent. So we really end up in a situation where people are skipping meals or they're subsisting on cheap foods and processed foods that are really affecting their health, especially with children. And we're seeing a lot of diabetes and these kinds of problems as a result of people not being able to afford healthy and fresh foods. So our food distribution, it's really like farmers market style, and people can come and choose from a variety of healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables that we get from Second Harvest. And then we also provide, staples like rice and beans and eggs and milk, things like that. And we're actually really fortunate that we get healthy snacks donated to us from Falcon Trading Company. They provide things like dried fruit and trail mix and nuts. And
Falcon Trading Company?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And they're a really great partner. So that's one really important thing that we do. And then we also help a lot of people get affordable health care. And this is important because there's a lot of misinformation out there about the Affordable Care Act, or what people call Obamacare sometimes. And it's important for people to know that it's still the law of the land. It's still a resource that's available to you. Open enrollment ended in January, but for very low-income people, they can enroll at any time. People with children who are uncovered, or people who have children who are not covered,
all year long,
can enroll all year long.
I see.
And lots of other people with different kinds of circumstances. Yeah.
And so you covered the child and adult care food program and the home-based child care program. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So I think Maureen can actually speak more to the home-based child care program.
Yeah,
I see.
absolutely.
Yes, that's the...
So we, in addition to all the amazing resources at Mountain Community Resources, we also have a couple other programs that serve San Lorenzo Valley residents. One of those being the Child Development Division, which I mentioned earlier. That's a group of 6 different preschools across Santa Cruz County, and 2 of those are right in SLV. We have Highlands Park Child Development Center in Ben Lomond, and we also have Redwood Mountain Child Development Center, and that's right in Felton. And they just opened, so that's really exciting. And the great thing about these preschools is that their fees are based on a sliding scale for family income. So we want to make sure that SLV families can afford quality early education for their children, and we believe that that kind of education sets children up for success for the rest of their lives. So we really focus on providing quality education that's not only really honed in on all of the areas of development that are critical for children, we're also focused on providing that at an affordable cost for all families. So that's a great resource for growing families who have young children.
Where in Felton is the new...
It's right on the SLV campus.
I see.
Yeah, the SLV high school campus.
Everything's consolidated there,
Yes.
so it's accessible, and
yes.
I see.
Yeah, so
And
that's great. And then in addition to that, we also, as I mentioned, we have Meals on Wheels for Santa Cruz County, and we have a dining site at Highlands Park, which seniors can go to receive hot, fresh, healthy meals, and also not only receive the nutrition, but the socialization and the companionship and the friendship that comes with sitting down and eating a meal together, which a lot of seniors are living alone, especially in isolated areas in the San Lorenzo Valley.
Yes.
And so this is a really important resource. And then also, as you mentioned before, the Child and Adult Care Food Program, they help cover the cost of healthy snacks and meals for daycare providers in the San Lorenzo Valley. So that's an excellent resource for people who are running daycares out of their homes to be able to afford fresh and healthy snacks for children, which again is just another part of really good, high quality development for kids.
And you coordinate between the food suppliers and these organizations, some private daycares, we have public school, public preschool, to give them whatever they need to provide healthy food if they don't have a regular delivery of that. And I know we're going to get into some of the curriculum that you do in a little while. Do you want to talk a little more about Highlands Park now, or do you want to get into that a little bit later? Because I want to hear more about Highlands Park, and it also is a big hub for not only seniors, but there's a lot of other things going on there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's a very critical resource for
the senior program. Mm-hmm.
And especially with our senior population is growing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll talk about that more later as we talk more about senior programs. But we have, I think it's over 41% increase in senior population in Santa Cruz County since 2011.
Baby boomers.
Yeah, absolutely. So programs like that, and especially, like I said, for people who are living in isolation or people who are living up in the valley who don't have close by neighbors or who might not have someone taking care of them, these kinds of resources are critical.
Yes.
And of course, providing quality nutrition, and that's just one piece of the Community Bridges family.
And then the lift line to help them get to and fro, not only for the meals, but other things that are happening there too. And it takes all the driving issues surrounding licensing, et cetera, out of consideration, so that they're able to really enjoy the experience and the assistance.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the great thing about our senior programs, is that they all work together to create a comprehensive and holistic care for seniors. So you already mentioned Lift Line provides door-to-door transportation for the elderly and disabled, and they also provide not only transportation to out-of-county medical appointments, but also to our programs, so to Elder Day, and then to Meals on Wheels for Santa Cruz County, all the dining sites. So Elder Day, Adult Day Healthcare is another way that we keep seniors out of isolation and keep them with the companionship that they need. That's a daycare program for seniors with complex medical conditions that's based in Santa Cruz. And they provide a customized care plan for each senior in that program. And they also have daytime activities like woodworking, yoga, art therapy classes, just a whole array of things, so that seniors can get the companionship and the independence that they want. Say, for caregivers also, it gives them the independence to be able to go to work or to get a break in the middle of the day, and it also keeps seniors out of full care homes or going into a nursing home. It's a much better alternative.
Yeah, and by providing a social stimulation, the general well-being it has a huge impact on general well-being, and you cover nutrition, medical, transportation issues. Very, very comprehensive program, very well-rounded and complete. So who is eligible for the senior program?
That's a great question, and a lot of people who may be interested in signing either themselves up or looking into this for a family member may have a lot of questions about it, and sometimes the application can be a little bit daunting. So I would encourage anyone who's interested in those programs to contact them directly. So again, that's Meals on Wheels for Santa Cruz County, Elder Day, Adult Day Healthcare, and Lift Line. And all of the contact information for that can be found at our website at communitybridges.org. And then also we have a phone number that they can be reached at. 831-688-8840 is our general line, and they can be directed to find the staff assistance they need.
And what age do they have to be to qualify for the senior services?
That's a great question. Some of the programs actually serve people who are not yet seniors, depending on medical needs. So again, I would encourage people to just contact the programs directly for any questions about age or income requirements.
And that's so versatile. You have services that you offer to coordinate, to help advocate, to assist in applications, and different programs that apply to different people depending on what their needs are.
Absolutely.
And one of the other things that I know you offer is the parenting workshops. Were you going to talk about that, Roxanne?
Sure.
I know that you had covered a little bit about covered California, and so if there's maybe anything else you want to say about that and lead us into the parenting program, we can.
Sure, yeah. So at Mountain Community Resources and at agencies throughout the county, Community Bridges works with First Five to provide free parenting classes for parents that could be experiencing all kinds of challenges raising their children. So it could be, anything from helping with bedtime to tantrums, or maybe performing better at school, or parents dealing with some issues that come with having a child with disabilities, or for parents of obese or overweight children who are looking to kind of change their lifestyle, or even parents who are figuring out how to co-parent with a partner or an ex-partner. So these classes are free and they're tailored to the needs of the family. So sometimes they might meet with an educator one-on-one, or they might do a group workshop, might do one workshop or a series of workshops. And like I said, these services are free. So we would encourage anyone who's interested, or maybe would like just some tips or a little help, to reach out and talk with one of our educators.
Absolutely. And you list all of these free classes and workshops on your website, right? On the Community Bridges website. I heard a few of the classes offered, and I was very impressed with the astuteness to supplying younger generation with mindfulness and stress relief and things that would have been great for all of us to have when we were younger. So the variety of classes that you offer is very, very impressive, and they are all free. So check out the list of programs and classes, and you offer them to all of the locations. Or are it varies based on the calendar, I'd imagine.
The calendar is always changing because we do respond to interest in what, especially for like the group classes, we respond to what parents at the schools are asking for, or things like that. So I would just encourage viewers to check out the website, and or just reach out and give us a call, and we can tell you what's available or what's coming up.
Great. So if somebody has an idea or thinks of something that would be appropriate for their child's class, then they can approach you about that, and you will in effect consider it based on, as you say, the needs of the individual, not only the individual child but the group setting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I see. That's wonderful. Okay, so we're going to move on now. We've covered the child development program, and you covered some of the other programs, Maureen, the adult and senior services. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about Highlands Park and how it's been redone? I've heard there's been quite a bit of work done at Highlands Park.
So Highlands Park is one of our 6 preschools, but actually it's the Redwood Mountain one that has had a ton of renovations done. So they, the facility...
The one in Felton.
Yeah, the one in Felton has been freshly renovated and reopened, and they're currently enrolling in that program. It's a great location. Right there on the SLV campus, and the site supervisor there, April, is really great. So I would just encourage anyone who's looking for high quality preschool to reach out. And again, they can visit our website, communitybridges.org, for more information on the contact there.
Okay, and some of the courses and workshops that you offer are available there as well?
Not at the preschool, but again, Mountain Community Resources is a great place to go for all of those workshops. So
I see.
say you're a family and you have really small children, but you also have some teens or something. They might want to look into the teen classes that are offered from time to time at Mountain Community Resources, or a little bit
At
younger.
the Felton location of Mountain Community Resources, sometimes?
Yes. And sometimes the workshops we work with the school district, so sometimes the location of the workshops for larger groups will be at the schools because that tends to be better for parents. But often parents who choose to work one-on-one with an educator will come to the Felton office.
And I assume that your workshops cover everything from some of the stress relief and management, mindfulness workshops, as well as health and nutrition, because you are very involved with supplying healthy, nutritious food to all ages, and educating so that they have awareness about whether or not they're able to sustain a nutritious diet, or if there is any need, and to also be aware of their neighbors and if they're in need. So I think for most of us, we want to be sure to refer and make known your services to anyone who might need them. Now, sometimes people are reluctant to ask for help. What can we do to offer assistance in a way that would help them be more receptive?
That's a great question. I think that sometimes people are reluctant to ask for help for a couple of different reasons. I've heard from clients that they assumed for whatever reason that they weren't going to qualify, maybe because they heard about a program and a neighbor or a friend didn't qualify, but we really look at people individually, and so will a lot of these other programs. So we really encourage people just to come in. And also sometimes people, they might feel reluctant to come in because they work really hard, and sometimes it's difficult to ask for help when you're struggling. But to them, I would say Mountain Community Resources is part of your community, and they're there for you. We have so many generous donors and volunteers who give their time because they know that it's good for the whole community when we help the most vulnerable people around us. And a lot of them are inspired to give because they had a difficult time that somebody or an agency helped them out with. So we'd really just like for people to remember that it's part of the community, it's there for you.
And I know a lot of the people living in Boulder Creek, I know a lot of people that want to help. And by having you here today, you've really given us an opportunity to learn how to help, how to reach out, how to refer, what services we can offer. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And you mentioned fundraising. So I know you hold fundraising events. So tell us about a couple of things that are coming up.
Absolutely. So at Community Bridges, we never have a dull moment. There's always an event coming up. So our most the one that's coming up the most quickly is Food from the Heart, and that is a luncheon on February 9th at the Chaminade, and that benefits Meals on Wheels for Santa Cruz County. So again, people can visit our website for more information about that. And then throughout the year, we also have several events that are specifically for Mountain Community Resources. One of those being the Makers Market, which happens throughout the year. And we have two of those coming up in the spring. I believe do you remember the exact dates? March 6th? May 6th
and July 8th.
July 8th, thank you.
May 6th and July 8th for the Makers Market,
Yeah, exactly.
where people donate their incredible art and crafts and you raise money for the programs.
And that's right there in the MCR parking lot,
In
which
Felton.
is great. That's a great collaboration. We love having them. And then finally in October, we have the Mountain Affair, which is our evening gala that's held at an SLV venue. And that raises funds for MCR as well.
At Highlands Park?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And then also I should mention upcoming the Phone-a-thon. We need volunteers to help call donors. So if anyone's interested, they can reach out and call MCR directly, and we'd love to have people join our team to help raise funds for the center.
Okay, so Roxanne, maybe you can ask for assistance, volunteers, donations, and we'll get to the conclusion of our time together today.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to get involved, whether you want to give your time or you have some extra clothes or you want to be part of our fundraising event. So please just come by and see us. We're open Monday through Thursday, or give us a call.
And what are your hours Monday through Thursday?
10 to 4.
10 to 4. So thank you so much for being here today, for doing so much to support our community, to helping those in need, and consider joining, volunteering, donating. Everyone has a particular area that they can offer to assist this verbose, complete, and growing program in not only San Lorenzo Valley, but Santa Cruz County. If you know someone, a family, anyone in need, please contact and connect with these wonderful organizations and look for events and activities on the Community Bridges website. You can get to the Mountain Community Resources list of events and website through them, and they are inclusive. So I am Sheri Ross, and this is SLV Life. Thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon.